Welcome back to Season 1 of Snubs and Dubs, where we're talking the snubs and dubs of the 69th Academy Award for Best Picture. I'm your host, Kyle Tobiasson, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Jason Miller. Jason, how's it going today?
Oh, it's going pretty good. It's a little chilly out there.
It is
Winter
a little chilly.
kicked in overnight.
It's decided to show up.
Yeah,
Finally.
now it's like minus 20.
It is. Did you watch anything this week?
Nah.
No?
No, I didn't get around to watching anything this week. It was a busy one. How about you? I imagine you're pulling out the phone with the whole list, the whole schwank of shows.
I gotta reach back into my memory and think about what I watched. So the last time we talked, I don't think I had watched any of these yet. On American Thanksgiving, I watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh,
that's kind of a classic for that day.
Gooder, yeah.
It's really good. I always forget how much I really like it.
It's really wholesome, heartwarming, good, lovable content.
Yeah.
It inspired one of the greatest Modest Mouse songs, so there's a lot of good stuff going on there.
Yeah, and I always forget like how early that scene of John Candy being like, I like me, you know,
yeah.
Like that's so early in the movie. I always remember it being so late because it feels like such an emotional scene, but it's
it feels like kind of like a climax, or like that is the whole round trip of that character. But no, that's like pretty early in apparently.
Yeah, but it's really good, and I would watch it again next year. I also saw House of Gucci.
Oh yeah, how was that, Gooch?
It was good. I liked it.
I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on that one. I'm glad that you had a good time with it.
I think you kind of have to embrace the goof in a way, because like there are some people, and to validate some people's criticisms in this movie, feel like they're different in different movies. Like Jared Leto is on a whole other plane than everyone else in this movie, and even like Al Pacino is like, I think Al Pacino understands what kind of movie he's in. Yeah, but like sometimes Lady Gaga and Adam Driver like kind of felt like they were in different movies, because I kind of felt like this should be a pretty like almost campy type of movie, just because of the scale and the ridiculousness of these people's like wealth and lifestyle, and you know, the true life story that happened with these people. And I wanted them to kind of lean into that more, and it kind of played it safe in some points.
Oh yeah,
but I was in it, and I liked Jared Leto in it, which some people didn't really like. I
just, on principle, don't want to like Jared Leto. So if he is good in this, might skip. I don't want to warm up my heart to that man at all.
No? Is your most anticipated movie of January of this year not Morbius the Living Vampire?
What is that?
It's a Sony Spider-Man universe villain film starring Jared Leto as
God, no.
vampire. All right, well. But yeah, I think people should look at it and form their own opinion. It's a pretty fun time. But I wouldn't go in expecting this year's like best movie. Yeah. But I did see some other movies this last week that could be. I also watched Encanto, which is the new Disney princess type movie.
Right. How was that?
It was good. I don't think it hit the heights of like Frozen or even like Moana or anything.
Yeah.
But I liked the songs. It was fun. The animation was obviously beautiful. Like I don't even know where they go from here. Yeah. Like, it's just so nice looking. Like, it's so like, some of the areas are so photorealistic, but then the characters are like, so, I don't know, just greatly animated. It's just, it's really good. Yeah.
Are there any songs that are going to have like such a steely grip over the entire world like Let It Go did?
I don't think so. Because like, it's a Lin-Manuel Miranda song type. And so, yeah, there's definitely going to be people that are like going to grab on and just like listen to this whole soundtrack like front to back, just like a lot of people do with Hamilton. But I don't know if there's like one, like you're not going to hear any of these on the radio like you did with like Let It Go. Yeah. Where it was on like our work soundtrack.
It was everywhere.
In the
you
story.
couldn't avoid it, dude. It was Let It Go everywhere.
Yeah. So, but no, I think it's worth checking out. I wouldn't like rush out to theaters to see it. It's a pretty safe home watch.
Okay. Yeah.
But like, yeah, I really liked it. And, you know, in classic Disney fashion, you get a little teary-eyed in the end.
It still makes you feel things.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's really sweet. And actually, pretty much all the movies I watched this last week were from this year. I had a pretty active theater week. Yeah, I also watched King Richard with Will Smith. Awesome.
Ooh,
really good.
Okay.
I really liked it. People are championing Will Smith for Best Actor this year. I can kind of see it so far. I haven't seen anyone else that really stands out compared to him. However, his performance is mostly kind of reserved because he's emulating a real life guy, right?
That makes sense.
Who is like, he's got his, you know, eccentricities, and like, he's a very interesting individual, but like, he's pretty much playing the same note throughout with like very brief moments of like strong emotion here or there, but like a really fun movie and a really fun sports movie. Yeah.
Does Will Smith have a Best Actor Academy Award at this point?
I don't think so. I think he's been nominated, but I don't think he's won. And so I think the narrative is also there for that too. Mm-hmm. Are you looking it up?
I'm looking up just to see if he has any here. No, a lot of Best Rap awards. That's something. Academy Awards. He was nominated for Best Actor twice. Has never won.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think this might be his year. We'll keep an eye out.
We'll be on Smith Watch 2021.
Yeah. But another guy who probably is going to be nominated for Best Actor this year is Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom, which is another movie I watched in this last week.
I'm excited about that one.
It was really good.
Okay.
I liked it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
This was one where I came out of it and I was like, some of the songs like stuck in my head afterwards. Mm-hmm. Obviously, this is, what's his name? Jonathan Larson. Yeah.
What is Lin-Manuel Miranda on this year? This is the Miranda Sons. He's in everything.
Yeah, because he directed this and he like briefly stars in it. And I know that like obviously a lot of care went into making this really appealing to musical theater heads.
Yeah.
Because there's this one scene in a diner where I was looking and when there's shots in a movie where it lingers on somebody and you're like, I don't know who that is, but I think they're probably somebody important. Mm-hmm. And this entire diner scene, as I learned afterwards, was just filled with like musical theater icon cameos.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and so, you'll get more reward out of that if that's you. Mm-hmm. But I really liked the story. I think Andrew Garfield did a really great job. He's all over the place with this role. Like his emotional range is everywhere because it's like he spends the whole movie mostly distressed.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to write the song and his girlfriend's, like trying to move away and then he's got deadlines and
he's just in a musical and that's a lot of stress on you.
Yeah. And like the concept of it, and I think the concept of the musical in itself was that like he's basically telling the story of his life up to that point. Mm-hmm. And so the musical is playing out in kind of like a way that they're telling you the story and then we see the story as the movie. And so then we cut back to the stage and he's like singing the songs about the story as like the story's actually happening, kind of in like a flashback sort of way.
Oh, that's layered.
Yeah.
That's a 7-layer beam right there.
But yeah, I really liked it. Yeah, you should watch that one for sure. It's on Netflix, so easy hit.
That's not hard to do.
Mm-hmm. And to kind of wrap up, I'll just quickly say I saw Dune again yesterday for a third time.
So good.
It's fucking great. And then I also watched Come On, Come On.
I've not heard of that one.
It's an A24 movie starring Joaquin Phoenix. And it's basically a kind of relaxing drama that involves
drama.
Well,
that's
it's a drama.
Yeah.
It's very low key. Mm-hmm. There's some, very emotional moments because it's about this guy, Joaquin Phoenix, and his sister and his nephew. His sister's ex-husband has like mental illness problems. And so he just randomly moved away after they separated and she's got to like help him transition or help him get into some care, some mental health care. And so Joaquin Phoenix just kind of takes care of his nephew for a while. Mm-hmm. And then like they kind of go around and like form a relationship and go to like New York, New Orleans together and like their bond kind of forms and it's just kind of following their bond as it grows. And it's just really sweet.
It's sweet.
And it was just, it was just kind of like, it was like sad at points because obviously this kid is going through a lot. His like parents have separated and his dad has mental illness and like he's struggling and he's like 9.
Yeah.
And so like you see that and like how Joaquin has to like address, dealing with this because he's never had kids of his own. And now suddenly he's like dealing with this 9-year-old who's got some like emotional trauma.
Yeah. And was working through it.
Yeah. And it's just really sweet seeing their relationship grow. And this was also another one that brought a little tear to my eye.
Man. Yeah. It's been an emotional week for you. It has been an emotional week.
Yeah. But that was a busy week. A lot to say, but that kind of wrapped up my week and look forward to next because I'm going to see West Side Story this week.
Oh, that's going to be good.
I'll let you know how that is next time.
That'll be fun. I do want to say that I would like to start my own website for a ranking. It's called Letterboxd and I review Jared Leto on there and it's half a star.
Every time,
every once in a while I think about it, I'm like, Jared Leto. Give him another half star.
Just make it a Letterboxd account called Letterboxd.
Just go around ranking all the Jared Leto. But I don't want to watch anything Jared Leto's done.
You'll have to watch it. They don't check.
Did not watch. No, half star. Hate Jared Leto.
Yeah. Stay tuned for the Snubs and Dubs premium edition episode Leto box where we watch every Jared Leto movie and give it half a star. We'll talk about it for great lengths. Love the movie at the end, half a star.
Oh man.
Well, let's get into the real meat and potatoes of this episode. Of course, season 1 of Snubs and Dubs is covering the films from the year 1996. And so for episode 18, we're talking about dun 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 Mission Impossible.
I was gonna say a different movie name, but I couldn't think of any movie name fast enough.
Have you seen this original Mission Impossible? I guess not original, but the original reboot of the original TV series. Yeah.
No, I've not seen this one before. Have you?
I had, but I watched these in a weird order. I saw the first one I ever saw was the fourth one.
Yeah, me too. That's
okay,
weird.
cool. And then I watched like 4, 5, and then I went back and did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then watched 6 when it came out.
Yeah.
And so I think, the year that Mission Impossible Fallout came out, I watched all of them, which was when I watched this one for the first time, and then all the rest of them. Yeah. So I have seen it before, but it's been about a year or so. Yeah. Let's get into it then. If you were interested in Mission Impossible, I've included the links to the physical media related to it in the show notes. If you buy through those links, it'll help out our show. Or if you have any other Amazon shopping to do, follow that general link and it'll help out our show in the process. Reminder that this is a spoiler-filled conversation, so if you haven't seen the original Mission Impossible yet and you want to, go ahead and do so. But without further ado, we're going to get into it.
When U.S. government operative Ethan Hunt and his mentor Jim Phelps go on a covert assignment that takes a disastrous turn, Jim is killed and Ethan becomes the prime murder suspect. Now a fugitive, Hunt recruits brilliant hacker Luther Stickell and maverick pilot Franz Krieger to help him sneak into a heavily guarded CIA building to retrieve a confidential computer file that will help prove his innocence. This is directed by Brian De Palma, written by David Cope and Robert Town, based on the 1966 TV series of the same name. It stars Tom Cruise, Ethan Hunt, Jon Voight as Jim Phelps, Henry Czerny as Kittredge, Ving Rhames as Luther, Kristen Scott Thomas as Sarah Davies, Gene Reno as Krieger, has a runtime of 110 minutes and was released on May 22nd, 1996. Kyle, what'd you think of the movie?
It's fun.
I like it. At the end of the day, this is a fun action movie.
I think it doesn't really waste much time either.
No,
like, after it starts, it's like in it and like you're into the mission. There is a little bit of exposition that you kind of have to get through.
Yeah.
And I think watching this the second and the third time when I did this plot kind of helped me, because there was even a moment later on where I was like, I think I had misunderstood the entire scene.
Yeah.
And like finally going through and watching with subtitles to get this plot down, I was like, oh yeah, like he doesn't even, anyways. But yeah, I really liked it. What about you?
Oh, I really liked it too. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like there's a lot going on, but I didn't feel it was hard to follow. And the kind of things where they didn't fully explain something was because they wanted there to be a little bit of mystery around that.
Yeah.
So that's totally fine. Like you know enough to get through it and understand the broad strokes of what's going on. But it's a fun movie. And anytime an action movie has some goofy shit in it, whenever there's like a goof scene, I have a great time. So when that helicopter was going through the tunnel, here's the goof troop right there. We got it in. Oh, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, this movie has a scene of a helicopter going into a train tunnel before being exploded by a piece of gum.
Yeah, it does.
So, that's just what we're dealing with here. But it's a good time.
It is a really fun time, and it's a different type of like action movie where it's not like a violent movie at all. There's like some death to it, but it's mostly like espionage and spycraft. The most violent thing is like that one guy's diarrhea from the computer room. The only violence that occurs is on that toilet. Do you want to get into the plot of Ruski?
Let's crack into this plot.
Crack into the plot.
We open in Kiev, where the IMF team is trying to get a name out of somebody by using a fake room and a fake face. They eventually get the name and promptly poison this man.
They love their fake faces.
Yeah.
They got more masks than anyone with COVID at this point.
And it's funny to see the evolution of the fake face, because especially starting at 4 and then going back, because in like the modern ones, they have like some sort of like 3D printing where they can really get it to look like that person. Whereas in this movie, it's just almost loosely Tom Cruise lookalikes that they try to imitate.
Yeah.
And it keeps Tom Cruise's face on it.
It's just goop faces.
Yeah. There's like the one scene later on where they're imitating a senator. There's like a scene of him on the television, and that's clearly just Tom Cruise in like makeup that they were trying to imitate. They didn't even try to put another person in it. So it was fun.
It was.
Of course, we get the classic intro that all these films get with theme and the kind of flash forwards to cut through the entire movie. But then we go to the plane where Jim Phelps is given a message that half of a CIA knock list has been stolen. This knock list contains the aliases and identities of CIA agents, but the criminal has stolen only half of the list containing just aliases, which means they cannot match the names to those aliases. It is anticipated that this criminal will make an attempt to retrieve the other half of the list so that they can match the names to the aliases, and so our task force has their mission. Phelps assigns the roles and the team of Ethan Hunt. Jim's way too young for his wife, Claire.
Yeah, good for him.
Jack, Hannah, and Sarah get all set up, gearing up with camera glasses and exploding chewing gum, both which are very important to this movie.
Both very useful.
Multiple
Those
times.
are good tools.
Yeah. Mission starts off smoothly as Ethan impersonates a senator, which he just kind of mentioned. They capture the video of the thief using the camera glasses, but it all goes to shit as Jack gets slap-chopped by the elevator and the thief gets away.
Yeah, that was I didn't expect that kind of kill to be coming in. 'Cause that's still fairly early in too, and they haven't really set the tone for like the what level of violence is going to be going on. So seeing some dude just get plowed into like these random spike traps on top of the elevator is insane.
Yeah. It was like, oof. And there's no blood in this movie, I think. Oh, well, there's a little bit of fake blood.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it's when Jim's character uses like a blood pack, but you don't know that right away. It looks like just blood. Most of the killings, just cut away when the car explodes or when the elevator goes up, and that's kind of it.
You would think if there was like a vent to get up to the top of the elevator, that somebody else gets in this elevator afterwards. There's a dead man who has been severely impaled. You probably have a little bit of...
There might be some leakage in there.
Jim leaves to chase a tail, and so Ethan goes after him, and Sarah goes after the thief that they were trying to capture. Jim is murdered on the bridge and falls into the water. Hannah and supposedly Claire die in a car bomb, and Sarah gets stabbed by an unknown assailant in pursuit of the thief, who is also stabbed. Ethan runs to escape the police and calls his boss. His boss tells Ethan to not worry about the knock list disc and just to meet him in 1 hour, meaning he's been in Prague the whole time.
Ooh. Oh, what I love about like that stabbing death of that one woman is like she comes around the corner and sees some guy who's been pulled up against a fence to get stabbed. She's like, oh my God, that guy just got stabbed. I better go up to him. And she gets stabbed.
Yeah, like she has the separation.
Yeah.
Like she didn't need to get stabbed for sure.
The only thing that she had to not do to not get stabbed is just like stay where she is.
Yeah.
Every step she takes, she gets more likely to get stabbed, and she just went right up to him. It's so weird. I'm like, why? How did she die?
Yeah, it is funny because she walks up, sees that he's been stabbed, stops at an appropriate distance, and then by the time that Ethan comes back to see her, she's dead against the fence.
Yeah.
Like what? I don't know.
It was funny.
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Ethan meets with Kittredge, and it turns out that this whole operation was a hoax to sniff out a mole. Ethan was the only one left alive, making him the prime suspect. Ethan figures this out by noticing the other IMF teams active during the mission. Even the list that they were chasing was a lie. It appears that Ethan has been targeted for framing, as his parents have received a random donation of $120,000. Very sus. Ethan escapes by using the blow-up gum to break up a Big Lobster tank and makes his way to their safe house.
Wait, I'm just thinking about this right now. They know that Ethan's family had just received that large sum of money. And they're like, okay, so there's a mole. We think it's Ethan. Let's kill everyone. Why was the thought process here? That's some witch hunt stuff where if we kill you, you're now innocent and you're not the mole, but you're also been stabbed a lot. Yeah. So what?
And it's just like a weird practice because obviously they're called the Impossible Mission Force.
Yeah.
You kind of expect that people might die on a mission to any extent.
Yeah.
Like, what do you expect was going to happen? Like, how is this sniffing out a mole?
You either you maybe killed them, but you don't know. Do you just wait to see if any mole-like activity continues? Or what if the woman didn't get stabbed? Would they just go and arrest her and say you're the mole?
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on there.
It's a little...
Yeah. Anyways.
Some weird practice. But
Cool gum stuff.
At the safe house, Ethan does some investigating, which ultimately leads him to do some emailing to get in contact with the buyer of the knock list, Max. Ethan poses as Job, the original buyer, with some really weird email practices.
Yeah.
This was like early internet email practices where like you could claim to be somebody else, apparently.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
It's like, oh, yeah, this is Job, by the way.
Yeah. I love the audacity. Like, no idea how this person emails, and he just runs with it. Just makes it up as he goes.
And it's like Job at like something dat 314.
Yeah.
It's just the weirdest email address.
He couldn't be like, hey, I work with Job and I need like these kinds of things or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm going to pretend to be Job.
Yeah.
Make some shit up and hope it works.
And I think this was kind of like, this is kind of lazy in a way for on a writing sense, because it's like, people won't look too detailed into this. Who uses email anyways?
Yeah.
But now it's just like very blatant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ethan dozes off and wakes up to Claire, who is very much not blown up. Ethan rightfully assumes that Claire has been sent to kill him, but after a very horny conversation, he trusts her.
Yep. It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This relationship is just kind of weird too, because like it kind of seems like he wants to get with her, and like obviously there's a reason that she's like into him, but like she seems into him too.
Yeah,
Her
like she's
husband just
trying
died.
to honeypot him, but maybe does care about him.
Yeah.
They needed more screen time for her, I think, because her character didn't make a lot of sense. It would have been great if we could like really develop what she's doing in this movie to some extent.
Nah.
Nah.
Ethan gets a response email from Max and goes to meet them. It turns out that Max is in fact an English woman.
Oh,
Holy
God.
shit.
Not the English.
Max susses out that Ethan isn't Job, and the two broker a deal. Ethan will deliver Max the actual knock list for a meeting with Job and $10 million. Ethan recruits some other disavowed agents, Luther and Krieger, for the job to break into Langley CIA headquarters. This was one thing that I realized after, but Claire was the one that suggested Krieger, and I think Ethan was the one that found Luther.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. We get a description of the job, which involves pretending to be firefighters, sneaking through the vents, disarming lasers, and lowering down to a terminal to extract the knock list. This terminal, of course, is in a highly secure room that triggers an alarm if there is too much noise, too much heat, or any pressure whatsoever on the floor, even as much as a water droplet. We get right into the job, and it starts off smoothly. Claire uses pen juice to make the terminal operator ill and places a tracker on him, which, like, he would have felt that.
Oh, yeah, probably.
And, like, you could have just, like, gotten up and, like, pretended to fall or something and placed it on him, but she just, like, lightly touches him, and he's like, what the fuck was that? Okay, I guess you're hot, whatever.
Yeah, just go for like, sometimes when you go for that like really professional handshake where you like grab the wrist, shake it, but also grab like support the elbow.
Yeah.
Just do something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Not just like the weird dainty little touch, but
yeah. Or be like, you got something on you.
Yeah.
And then it's a tracker now.
Krieger and Ethan sneak into the vents and quietly lower Ethan down to the terminal. After a few close calls, Ethan gets the knock list and escapes, but not before Krieger drops his knife onto the terminal, cluing in the operator to the heist. The team retreats to London, and Krieger tries to give the orders, thinking he has the actual knock list. Ethan convinces him that he is using a copy of the list, even though Krieger did actually have the list.
Tried to do some subterfuge. What's the word? Subterfuge? I think that's what it is.
This is bluffing.
Yeah, he bluffed.
And paid off.
Yeah.
Good for him. Which also kind of negligent, Ethan. You just give this random guy this list? I mean, come on.
Why didn't he just keep the list on him or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But anyways, he gives it to Luther. Ethan realizes through a stamp in a Bible from the Drake Hotel, the same hotel that Phelps was at, that there might be some funny business going on here.
Yeah, business is getting kind of funny.
Yeah. Claire gets over her dead husband a little too quickly and gets very touchy with Ethan. She goes to bed, and Ethan entrusts Luther with the actual knock list. It's Luther's job tomorrow to jam the distribution of the list. I think, because like Ethan knows that, well, obviously Ethan recruited Luther, that he's not going to let this happen. Like this crime, too big to let happen.
Yeah.
Kittredge frames Ethan's parents in a drug ring, prompting Ethan to run to a phone and threaten Kittredge. After the call, another surprise. Jim Phelps is alive. Whoa.
Jim went for a swim, but he's back.
Jim tries to convince Ethan that Kittredge is the mole, but Ethan knows it's Jim and deconstructs his plan while explaining it to Jim as if it was Kittredge. This is what I didn't hear the first time. I thought that he was straight up saying to Jim here that he knows it was him. But because obviously there's the flashes to show that it is Jim. But obviously that's now just his internalizing, figuring out what happened. Yeah,
because he's hearing the story from Jim about what Jim's trying to frame Kittredge of doing. But Ethan, he figures it out. So you're watching Ethan. I think this was actually like a really cool device.
Yeah.
That what you're hearing doesn't match up because Ethan knows that Jim did it. So he's figuring out how Jim could get through with this while Jim's lying about Kittredge. It was actually I enjoyed that.
It was pretty cool. And I think I just misheard the first time because I heard you instead of him.
Oh,
and that just threw me off. And so I think the second time through, I was like, wait, what? And so I had to go subtitles and then.
Oh, that would do it. That would do it.
Yeah, but cool. It was a really cool device. I actually quite liked it. So Ethan's deconstructing this plan. He realizes that Krieger was the one who stabbed Sarah. And for a second, Ethan thinks that Claire was the one who bombed Hannah. However, he settles that it could have been Jim that activated the bomb after he fell off the bridge. And Jim tells Ethan that Ethan can't tell Claire that Jim's alive for her own sake. It's not for her own sake.
It's not for her own sake.
It's for his sake.
Yeah, she's moved on, Jim. Yeah. She's sleeping with anyone right now.
Ethan explains their plan for tomorrow to Jim, and Ethan goes back to their safe house alone. Claire does some grabby hands to get Ethan to come to her.
Yeah.
And then she makes out with his hand.
Yeah. It was like a beckoning thing. Like, come here, are you?
Yeah.
Let me kiss your hand.
It's just fingers. So weird. This is grabby baby hand thing.
Yeah.
It's Mama. Oh, no. Yeah. The stage is set and all parties are on the train. Ethan plants the list for Max to find. And once it's authenticated, Max instructs Ethan to where he can find the money and Job in the baggage cart. Luther blocks the transmission of the knock list, but has to bail when Kittredge shows up. And then a Good Samaritan staff member returns Luther's phone, allowing the transmission to continue.
What I love about when Luther sends the signal to jam the device, it's back in early movies coding where he hits send on begin jamming. He hits enter for the coding. Yeah, it's fun. It's just pure espionage, 90s action movie type things. It's just everything you want. They need to make it obvious enough about what's happening that the average person can understand, but no one knows what the average person has no coding knowledge, so they have to be dude, this jam. Hit the jam button, Freddy. The way that they represented emailing is very it lines up with what this is like. Ethan tells Claire to meet him in the baggage car, and when she gets there, she sees Jim. Claire reveals that she was in on the scheme all along, and Jim pulls off his face to reveal Ethan was Jim all along. I was waiting. I really wanted this to be a double face pull. Oh, yeah? But I didn't know where to go from there. But I was just hoping there'd be more faces coming off. However, Jim is there too, and he holds Ethan at gunpoint. Ethan gives Jim and Claire the money, then reveals that he's had the camera glasses on him the whole time. Now Kittredge knows that Jim was the mole, and in the weirdest distraction play, Jim shoots his own wife, punches Ethan, and escapes out the top of the train. He still had the gun on him. I don't know why he had to shoot his wife. Why did you could have shot Ethan, and then you and your wife could get away, but no, you shoot your wife so that Ethan's oh shit, I guess I should help her? Yeah. This was a weird play. Why'd you just shoot Ethan? No. I guess, it was... Yep. Oh, well. It would have made more sense if there was a scuffle with the two and he accidentally shot Claire. Yeah, that would have made way more sense. But no, he just straight up just bang, run. Yeah, it's oh, man, I saw a bear in the woods with my wife. I'm just going to shoot her and let the bear catch her or something. I don't know. It was just a straight distraction play, which made no sense. I know you made out with his hand. Yeah. We're done. Can't kiss a mouth that's kissed another man's hand before. Krieger is awaiting Jim in a helicopter, but Ethan catches up to Jim and straps the helicopter to the train, forcing it to fly into the tunnel. After a scrap and a struggle, Ethan uses the blow-up gum on the helicopter, killing Krieger and Jim. Luther gives Kittredge Max and the knock list, and then Luther and Ethan are cleared, reinstated, and for the first time in this soon-to-be 8-movie series, Ethan retires. Yeah. That happens a couple times. Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. We get like a little tease at the end where he goes onto a plane and is given the instructions for the next mission. But that's basically it. That's Mission Impossible.
That's beautiful. It's fun stuff.
It's good fun.
It is some good fun stuff.
Yeah. I think like not all. A lot of the movies after this are better, but like this is a good start.
This is a really good base. Like it introduces the characters that well. No one's that fleshed out, which is fine because it's not like Ethan Hunt's like this crazy complex character. They're just like there for the audience. So, but it is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, even though it was seemingly complex. And I think like the motives of Jim were kind of weird. Yeah,
because he explains it at the dinner table or in the cafe when they're talking about as if it's Kittredge, where he's like, "Oh, no more Cold War," blah blah blah. Like, so is that his motivation?
Yeah. I didn't quite understand a lot of that. And I think he was just there to have really convoluted plans and see them fail. Because the way that he like killed the whole team and then pretended to kill himself was so weird as well. Where he like pretends to
wraps around.
Yeah, when he could have just like if you're wearing the glasses and everyone can see what you're looking at, just like look up or you get shot in the back or something. It doesn't matter. Like you don't need to like do the weird show your hand shooting yourself thing.
Oh well.
No one's gonna find your body. Why'd you put blood on yourself? No one's gonna find your body. That's the whole point.
Yeah, no. It's for the dramatic effect to look down and see all the blood on his hands and be like, Ethan.
Yeah. Jim wanted to just be like some theater kid.
Yeah.
Accidentally failed and is now like a CIA operative. So he has to like just use that as his only device, like just to get some attention.
Did you find any of the reveals predictable?
Honestly, not really. I didn't have a great sense of where it was going at all times. What the big reveals was Jim was the guy behind it. Like that makes sense, but I didn't see that one coming. Krieger was the guy who was doing the stabbing. That one, I didn't care about Krieger that much, so I didn't think about that one.
Yeah.
The wife being evil was kind of like they built that one up pretty early on that she might not be fully on Ethan's team, and him getting betrayed by her. Actually, I did kind of see that one coming because she clearly was spending a lot of time trying to seduce Ethan when her husband had very recently died.
Yeah,
within a couple days.
Yeah, and like she shows up suspiciously too.
Oh
like,
yeah,
when you kind of put the pieces together, like who's there left and like what's available. Especially watching it a second time where you see that Claire suggested Krieger. And like you kind of can see the pieces fall into place. But like, I think it's like still effective, like predictable to an extent, but like still surprising. It's still good, and still a fun reveal.
Now I'm thinking maybe there is something to the whole whoever is left alive is the mole because that's his wife was left alive and she was one of the moles. Jim was alive. Mole. We just gonna start killing people.
Yeah.
Then only the bad people are around and that's a win somehow.
Was there any kind of performances that stood out to you in this?
I mean, nothing too crazy.
Yeah,
it's a pretty simple movie in some of that regards. I do love that Emilio Estevez, is that his name?
Yeah, I think you're right.
He gets it's just like an uncredited role, but he has like quite a few lines of dialogue and feels like a member of the team.
Yeah.
That was kind of interesting. But nothing like, I don't know, the performances weren't what we're here for.
Yeah.
It's a big old action movie.
Yeah, everything is like effective enough. I think like Claire was the only one for me that sometimes felt like maybe she was not the best actress.
Yeah, she had a confusing character too, where I didn't really know what she was intending to do at any point.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of a double crossing thing, so she needs to have that be confusing. But she didn't feel as natural of a character as everyone else did in that.
Yeah. She's also very breathy. She's like
so
very breathy actress. Just like, Ethan. She
was really breathy.
Yeah.
What were the stunts that you liked the most?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, obviously, like the standout moments are the break into Langley where he's dangling. Actually, you know what? A couple of those moments I brushed over because like it's very quickly dealt with. Really, if you put it on paper. But like, actually, yeah, that was probably my favorite bit of the entire movie was their break in.
Yeah,
and like them because the whole like music cuts out. It's just like very, very faint sound effects. And like, it was very stressful.
It's good suspense because like they have that heat tracker where like if we get above 1 degree, like they'll catch us and it goes up and it gets close a couple times and his sweat's running down his glasses somehow and he catches it.
Yeah. And then like there's a rat and he like slips for a second and then he's like dangling like an inch above the ground. Oh, it's just really good.
It is really good.
Yeah.
I don't understand. So the firefighters come in to deal with a fire that's been reported in the building. No one ever evacuates. No one cares that there's a fire, but they still need to let so they need to let the firefighters in, which means that they know there's a fire in there.
Yeah.
But no one's doing anything about it.
Everyone else is acting
sense.
Normally. Yeah. Which, like you'd think that maybe they would want to get more people out.
Yeah, because there's a fire.
Yeah. Even like the operator, you wouldn't have had to make him ill if there was a fire reported and everyone had to leave. And then you could just get in.
And then you can just do your thing. Yeah.
Weird.
No, that's no point in stabbing a bunch of plot holes.
More exciting that way. Then Claire has actually one thing to do.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's the one time she was useful, is just shooting some pen juice into his drink.
What was your favorite stunt out of it?
I mean, like that being dropped from the wire, so he's like 1 inch from the ground. That is pretty cool. I think that's like the biggest stunt moment, but I love the action on top of the bullet train near the end. I felt like I'm glad they tried to make it feel like a realistic when you're on a train. It's not like you're just easily walking around, because it's going like, I don't know how fast it's going. I'm assuming like 100 miles an hour, somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
So you're probably getting wind blasted around and everything. So that it felt more high stakes and more realistic because of that. And then like the goofy shit of having the helicopter in the tunnel. I love that. So that was great. I'm really glad they did that and made it be kind of a goofy movie.
Yeah. I was surprised when the other train came and it didn't just take out the helicopter then.
Yeah, you can't think about that too much, because there would not have been room for the helicopter and the train.
Absolutely not. No, but somehow it makes do. But.
Yeah, it just all fits in together.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And it's funny how they explain it on the news afterwards too. It's like helicopter lost altitude, crashed into a tunnel and a train, but it went like all the way through the tunnel. Like if you really poke holes in this story, it's like,
it went very far in. It didn't just like land or stop or something. Nope. It's just like, we're in the tunnel, better keep going straight.
Yeah. Man. I'm happy that like Luther and Ethan were like the ones that kind of continued through this series, because I don't know if everyone else was like that important. Obviously, they kill everyone so early.
Oh yeah,
everyone else, like everyone that could hypothetically be important. But yeah,
what's a fun fact that I don't think I put in here? I'm pretty sure I didn't. Is that originally, like early in writing this movie, they planned on having a bunch of the characters from the TV show be killed off at the start. So I'm kind of wondering if they're gonna have like all the TV characters be in this, and then they're the ones who die at the beginning or something like that.
Yeah,
but it'd be kind of obvious plot wise if they had like. If they brought back the characters just for the people who died in this, and like Jim is Jim and Ethan is Ethan, like it's gonna tell you exactly where that's going, so you can't really do that. But no, it's just a solid action movie. Like it doesn't really get in the way of itself too much. I think like there's some kind of issues with the plot, but it's because it's simple. It just has a couple places to go. It's gonna hit the beats along the way, but it's just fun.
Yeah,
it's just lighthearted fun.
And I really like how they've kept making these movies. Because like this is like the pure espionage action stunt piece movie that like you want.
Exactly.
Like it is an experience, and they've just gotten better.
They do keep getting better. Like you can tell the newer ones, like they really figure out the beats a lot better than this one. Like it feels a little odd compared to the new ones, but that's because they streamlined it and kind of get their groove in.
You should watch 2 and 3.
I would like
as well.
To. Yeah.
Because 2 is worse.
Oh god.
And pretty forgettable. 3 is like they're clearly getting to that point where they're almost at the level of 4.
Yeah.
And so it's nearly there, and Philip Seymour Hoffman's a villain and it's so fucking good in it.
Good Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah. And I think 4 is where they really hit their start, and they've just kept getting better.
Yeah, and then they just started printing them since.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, do you want to get into reviews?
Get into the reviews, yeah.
Alrighty. First of all, what do you think the critics and the audiences thought of Mission Impossible?
Right. I think audience is probably going to be high because it's like good fun. So I'm going to say maybe like 85 for audiences, but then critics might be a little bit lower, like 70. Yeah, I'll go 70.
You were shooting a little high for this one.
Ooh.
On Rotten Tomatoes, the critics gave it a 66. The audiences only gave it a 71.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. IMDb, 71. Metacritic, 59. So what's the weirdest thing, I think there's been a couple movies that aren't really that well reviewed, but make so much money.
Yeah.
And oh boy, did this one make some cash.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It made $181 million on a budget of $80 million. So that's that clean 100 mil return. It was number 3 for the box office of 96.
And so now we've covered the top 4.
Now we've got the top 4. wow, did they print money. Tom Cruise is just the recipe for success.
Yeah.
He can't stop making movies that make money.
Yeah, and this was our second Tom Cruise movie of this season so far, too.
Which I think the other one also did over 100 mil return.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for Tom Cruise. Printed money.
You guys want to do, I guess time for our scores?
Yeah, let's get our scores
in here. All right. Kyle, what would you give the enjoyment?
I think I'm going to give it a 4.
Yeah.
I was quite high on it.
I liked it. I liked it, but I felt like there was a couple times it was like a little bit boring. I wanted maybe a bit more action in my action thriller.
That's
so
fair.
I gave it a 3.5.
Totally fair.
A little bit lower, but
respectable.
I think that captures my thoughts and feelings. Craft, where are you going?
You know, there's a lot of good stuff in here in the action sequences, especially that one scene of the break-in. You gotta give them a lot of credit for that. Some of the other bits, it's all right. And obviously their theme they've stolen from the TV show, so it's iconic and it slaps.
Theme, but like they didn't do that.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go like 3.
Yep, that's what I have as well.
Okay, great.
That's a couple cool things, but overall pretty straight. Although I did learn that the lighting when they're shooting, was it Prague that they were in for the first scene? I believe. It required like 2 weeks of setting up lights to have it done right. Wow. So like that was the only, I think, really cool technical mastery was that like they put a lot of time and resources into lighting, but it doesn't make a huge difference on the movie.
No.
They just did that to have like accurate enough lighting. So
yeah,
that's not like a huge win for him.
It's one of those things where like if it was not done to that extent, we probably would notice. Like, why is this so dark? But then like, it probably goes a little bit unappreciated because it's just how they light something at night.
Yeah, just to get it to the base level of light that they'd expect from a studio or something like that.
Good for them. We see you.
Thanks guys. Execution.
Yeah. I'm going to go 3.5 because I think there's enough surprise in here and enough fun. Performances are totally feasible. No one really stands out for me except maybe like Claire in some points, but like it works pretty well overall. So I'm going to go 3.5. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of along the same lines. I'm thinking a 3. Nothing really blew me away for a lot of it. Like none of the performances were anything that I took home and thought about afterwards. Like they're all just like, it comes together to make a good action movie, but no one really shoots above and beyond.
No.
Yeah. Here's probably the big one for this rewatchability.
I think if I put this in perspective of the other Mission Impossible movies, it's a bit lower because I think I enjoy watching the other ones more.
Yeah.
However, if I put it in perspective of the other action movies that we watched this year, it's probably up there with like Independence Day and I mean we just watched The Rock too, which I didn't find that highly rewatchable.
I don't plan on rewatching that one.
I think I'm gonna go a 4. I think that's safe for me.
That's solid.
It's high, but it's it's also like I'm not comfortable saying 5 with this one, but it is rewatchable for sure.
Yeah. This I'm also saying 4 because like I want to watch this one again, and I would have a great time doing it again. So Kyle, that will bring your score to a 14.5 out of 20 for a 73%.
That's
and I'm a 13.5 for a 68%.
Yeah, pretty in line with critics and audiences, actually.
Yeah. For the rankings, all right, Kyle, you have from top to bottom: Fargo, Scream, Swingers, Jerry Maguire, Independence Day, Secrets and Lies, Bottle Rocket, Train Spotting, The Rock, Twister, Primal Fear, The People vs. Larry Flint, A Time to Kill, Breaking the Waves, Lone Star, Happy Gilmore, Marvin's Room. Where is Mission Impossible the first going?
I think this might just slide under Secrets and Lies. No, I think I'm going to put it above Secrets and Lies under Independence Day.
Ooh, new number 6 in the works. So for my list right now, it is Fargo, Scream, Swingers, Lone Star, Independence Day, Secrets and Lies, Jerry Maguire, The Rock, Breaking the Waves, Bottle Rocket, Train Spotting, Primal Fear, Twister, A Time to Kill, Happy Gilmore, The People vs. Larry Flint. I would rather watch my foot get shot off and then Marvin's Room at the very bottom. I think I'm going to go a little bit lower on this one. Yeah. It feels to me like a little bit better than The Rock. Like, especially doing those back to back. I'm kind of glad that we did those back to back because they're like a good comparison. So I think I'm going to put it as my number 8. It'll go above The Rock, below Jerry Maguire, But Tom Cruise gets to hang out with another Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah. We both have Jerry Maguire higher, which it kind of makes sense. It was nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah. And Mission Impossible was very much not nominated for Best Picture or much of anything as a little
we'll get to in a
preview
second.
of what we're about to get into. Brings us some fun Letterboxd reviews.
Oh, yeah.
I actually kind of struggled to find that many good ones. People were going way too hard. They're taking this very seriously and writing thoughtful, long reviews that really captured their feelings on the movie. Stop that.
How dare they?
Say dumb shit that we find funny instead, jerks. But this is what I've captured.
Okay.
Angela Fergato, 3 stars. Easily my favorite set piece that hinges on giving a man diarrhea.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened.
Maybe that's why they didn't need to do the whole fire plan. They just really hated that guy. Like, let's just really ruin this guy's afternoon. Which something about the way that guy, like that actor played just some CIA dude does computer stuff. I found him really funny for some reason. Yeah. I kind of liked his performance. He had such a nothing role.
Yeah, just kind of had a vibe to him.
Yeah, he just had a goofy vibe.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
All about the goof, and this guy was clearly kind of a goof.
He brought it.
Yeah.
He brought it. All right, Donald Hughes, 4.5 stars. This is a weird one. Takes all the basic elements of a spy action movie and raises it to a new level just by doing them well and throwing in a few genuinely exciting scenes. Lots of fun casting choices besides the perfect Tom Cruise. Jon Voight even half jogs a bit at one point. I'm rewatching all of these because so far 3 million people have died of the novel coronavirus and I need to keep things positive.
We don't need those reminders in our box reviews.
Why is that in there, Donald? That has nothing to do with the movie, Donald. Now we're all sad again. We're not keeping things light. I was just like reading the reviews. I'm like, wait a minute. Why is 3 million people dead ever coming into a movie review?
Oh, man.
So that's what Donald's mind's going. Donald, we hope you're doing okay out there, Donald. Man. I'm glad that you're finding ways to bring light into a tough time, but holy, are you unpacking there? No trauma dumping in the Letterboxd reviews, please.
Unless it's a Letterboxd review, and then it's the trauma of previously experiencing a Jared Leto movie.
Last one. Lauren, 3 stars. Blows a kiss at the Church of Scientology for Ethan Hunt. That was not much going on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks Scientology for Tom Cruise. Even though,
can we even thank it?
No, they deserve nothing.
Cruise? No,
you guys suck.
Oh,
you guys are jokers.
Tom Cruise is such an interesting character as like a human.
I know,
it's just because like really good action star, really good actor,
so
just like
good.
He has some genuinely good performances, and he brings a lot of like energy, and he wants you to have like these beautiful set pieces with like amazing in-camera stunts. He'll like learn how to fly a fucking fighter jet to do Top Gun. But then Scientology. And it hurts the most because you think that if you met Tom Cruise, you would probably like him. Yeah.
I imagine he'd be really nice to people when you meet him. I don't know if it's like genuine or not, but I feel like he'd be a cool guy to meet.
Yep.
But he's a Scientologist. God damn it. L. Ron Hubbard, what have you done to us?
Yeah.
Piece of work. Awards time.
Awards.
How many Academy Awards do you think this was nominated for?
None?
Yeah, you're right. No, not a lick. It was nominated for some like action-y award things. It had nominated for the Saturn Award for Best Action/Adventure/Thriller Film. But more importantly, it was nominated for the Razzie Award for Worst Written Film grossing over 100 million.
Oh, yikes.
And it was also nominated for the Stinkers Bad Movie Awards for Worst Screenplay for a Film grossing more than 100 million using Hollywood math. And Worst Resurrection of a TV Show.
Why do people hate this so much?
I don't know.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think
rude.
Twister was also nominated for these as well, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Or at least not for the Resurrection of a TV Show, but for worst grossing over 100 million. People didn't
bunch of snobs at the Razzies. Jeez.
Like, okay, there's a couple weak points on the plot, but worst? No, come on.
They were probably reaching for that. They were like, there was probably just like a lack of worse options. But
yeah, honestly, I guess that's kind of surprising that it was nominated for such. It got dumped on that much.
I'm not surprised it didn't get Academy Awards.
No,
maybe
nothing came.
Sound, but like I don't know if it even had the best sound.
No, it wasn't even an original score. If this was an original score, then the score awards would be coming in.
But because it took so much from the show, you can't really take that. Yeah.
Well, here's some interesting facts for you, Kyle.
All right, hit me.
While filming the famous scene where Tom Cruise drops from the ceiling and hovers inches above the ground, Cruise's head kept hitting the floor until he got the ideas to put coins in his shoes to balance.
Oh.
Yeah, he was just kept getting dropped and smacking his head. He probably wasn't dropped that far because they don't show the full height of it. But yeah, he kept hitting his head on the floor because that's how inertia works.
Huh. Cool. Yeah. I mean, not cool.
Is that why he's a Scientologist? All the head trauma?
God damn it, Brian De Palma. Stop dropping it. Drop Tom Cruise too many times.
Just get a stunt actor next time, Tom Cruise. No. Reza Badiah, the person responsible for directing more episodes of the original Mission Impossible television series than anyone else, was asked by the head of Paramount Pictures to be present on the set for consulting and advising. Director Brian De Palma approached him and told him how much he enjoyed the original series. He also added that the movie would be nothing like the television show and that his presence on the set would only result in making both of them uncomfortable. Badiah thanked him for his honesty and left the set, never to return.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's kind of like a professional way to handle that. Yeah. But like, yeah.
I get why he would say that. He's like, I don't want to make this like the TV show. But maybe you just keep him around and everything that he says you don't do, and then it'll be nothing like the TV show. You keep doing the opposite.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's kind of nice that like he was straightforward about that.
Yeah, I think you have to be. Because like you don't want this, especially the guy who's like done so much for that original show is probably kind of his baby. Yeah. He might not like what you're doing with it if you're intentionally making it different. So it's probably best that you guys just go your own ways.
Yeah. Just like, I like you. I respect you. I'm doing something else. Yeah. Respectfully, fuck off.
Yeah, you know what? Your child is mine now, and I'm changing everything about it, and people are dying. So
for the best.
Yep.
All right.
Cheers. One more. This is the Mission Impossible with the fewest gunshots at just 5, and the only one in which Ethan Hawke never fires a bullet.
Ethan Hawke?
Damn it. I didn't copy paste that one. I typed that one.
That's interesting though. Never fires a bullet.
He never fires a shot, and only 5 bullets are shot at all in total. There's almost more gum explosives than bullets.
Yeah, and more explosive diarrhea than
Ethan Hawke. Well, that's all I got for interesting facts. Any last thoughts on Mission Impossible, the first?
No, it makes me want to watch the rest of them.
Yeah, it does.
It's just fun. I might skip 2 though.
Well, you've seen it once at least.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I don't think there was a couple funny lines. There was that one point where, oh man, my ability to remember names right now is at an all-time low. Kittredge? Kittredge, that's one. Kittredge like drops the line about some guy who overhears about the Nautilus getting stolen. He's like, I want him manning a radar tower in Alaska by the end of the day. Just mail him his clothes. There's some good quips in here, but that's all I got. It's a good movie.
It is good.
It's a fun movie.
I think people should watch it, especially if they've only watched the new ones.
Yeah,
because it's fun to see the roots.
It's nice. Yeah, see where the base of the broth came from, because now they're deep in the soup. But got to revisit that.
Cool. Well, I want to thank you all for listening to Season 1, Episode 18 of Snubs and Dubs. As always, you can find us everywhere on social media at Snubs and Dubs. That's on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Letterboxd, etc. We're also on Good Pod, so make sure to check us out there and join our official Discord. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this film or on this episode, so please send us a tweet or a message with a question, recommendation, or anything else. I'm also at Kyle Tobiasson on Twitter and Letterboxd, and Jason is at Wendy_Mills. Of course, all of those links are going to be in the show notes. Make sure to leave a 5-star review and share the show, then check back next week for another episode. Here's a sneak peek of the film we're going to talk about.
Hi. My name's Violet. We heard you working in here, and I was just wondering if you'd like a cup of coffee.
An open invitation like Violet comes once in a lifetime.
What the fuck is... Corky, this is Caesar Corky.
I thought... Fucking dark in here.
That's right. Next episode, we're talking about Bound. So make sure to watch it before next episode. Can't wait for you guys to hear it. Thanks for listening. That's a wrap. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.